welcome back to my channel. So I'm wearing my Halloween costume for this video. As you can see, I still have lipstick on me. I thought it went away. Okay. I am going as a skeleton bride. You can't see my full costume, but it's like a dress with like these little frillies at the bottom, plus my veil, as you can see. It's here. So yeah, I really like this costume, so when I found it, I bought it, and yeah, so yay. Halloween themed video. I'm so excited. Halloween's my favorite day of the year. All Hallows Eve is what I like to call it, but I don't call that out in public because people don't always know what I'm talking about when I say All Hallows Eve, and then I feel shame. Or not shame, that's not the right word. I feel, what is the right word to say? Like, I feel sad that the culture of Halloween has been, oh well. Okay, let's see. So I'm going to do top 10 Halloween movies. And then after this I'm going to make a video for top 10 Halloween themed episodes on TV shows. Disney Channel episodes. Disney Channel shows. Ooh, I should do a top 10 Halloween episodes on other shows that's not Disney Channel. I didn't even think about that. And I don't want to make it and then make the video because after I'm done with my videos I'm going to get out of this and then I have to do all the research to find and figure out where. Maybe I'll just make that for next Halloween. That's a good idea. I could always save the other video for next Halloween too, so I don't have to make too many videos because that's a lot of work and I don't want to do it. Yeah, maybe this will be the only video I make now, and then make the other video for next Halloween, so I have a video for next Halloween. It's probably smart. So yeah, so this video is top 10 Halloween themed movies, but they're not all, well, okay, let me rephrase that. They are not exactly considered, not all of them are technically considered Halloween movies. I think most of them are, but there are a few that, I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 4 of them aren't really considered Halloween-y movies, but they have to do with Halloween stuff, like monsters or monsters, basically, stuff like that. Anything that has the Halloween vibe to it, you know? You get it? Okay, good. So, number 10 is Practical Magic. Now, I haven't actually seen this movie in quite some time. I don't think it's been that long. But it wasn't that bad of a movie, you know, it's not something I would want to rewatch 100 times, like some movies, but it is definitely a good movie, you know, kind of slow, but, you know, not every movie has to be all fast-paced, because sometimes you just want a slow movie just to have on it while you're doing stuff, you know. So, it's definitely, and it is a good movie. It's about these two sisters who are witches, and there's like this curse that they can't fall in love, or the guy will die after so long or something. So one sister's like, doesn't really care, she just hooks up with random guys, she parties all night, and they also live with their 2 aunts. Yeah. And then the other sister, who's played by Sandra Bullock, is kind of more serious, you know, because she takes the curse very seriously, and she's afraid of even talking to guys because then what if she falls in love and then she has to lose them. Like I said, I haven't seen the movie in a really long time, so I don't really remember it that well because I don't remember like how it ends. But I remember that against what she wanted, she ended up falling in love anyways, of course, and she ended up having a daughter. And then she ended up seeing the signs that he was going to die, and she tried to stop it, but she couldn't, and he died. And I don't really remember much of what happened after that, to be honest. I probably should rewatch that movie. But yeah, so she has to lose her husband, and it's kind of sad, but yeah. So number 9 is Haunted Mansion. Now this is a movie I haven't seen in a long time, probably since I was a kid. And it's on Disney Plus, so I was thinking about rewatching it. I just haven't yet. So I remember that movie even less than Practical Magic. But it's definitely a Halloween movie, and I actually don't know how many people actually like this movie. I mean, I think it's kind of an underrated movie, and I think it stars Eddie Murphy, right? Am I right? Am I wrong? I think that's his name. But he goes to, well, a haunted mansion. Like, it's right in the name, right? I need to rewatch that movie. I don't really remember it, like, at all. But I needed a 10th video, 10th, thing for this video, so, yeah. Number 8 is Harry Potter. Now, I don't think this is technically considered a well, I know it's not considered a Halloween movie. It's a movie you can really watch at any point in time, really, let's be real. But, it has a bunch of magical creatures. You know, it has, obviously, wizards and witches. I mean, they're, like, the main point of it. But there are trolls and fairies and, what else are there? I know there's more. There's hippogriffs, there's centaurs, giants, gremlins. They're not called gremlins. What are they called? Those little things, those little blue people from Chamber of Secrets. No, they are called gremlins, aren't they? I don't know. There's house elves. So yeah, there's a bunch of magical beings, and so it definitely has that witchy vibe and Halloween feel to the books and movies, and they're also good books and movies. I love them all, honestly. I mean, most of the time I say the book's better than the movie, but in this case, I think it's kind of pretty even, you know. I think, yeah, I really don't know if I prefer one over the other, to be honest. I love them both equally. I haven't actually read the books in a really long time, but I've been doing rereads lately. So I plan on rereading them soon, and I will get to it eventually. So yeah. But yeah, I don't know how much I really need to explain, because everyone knows Harry Potter. Even if you don't watch it or read it, you still know the name, and from a bunch of people talking about it everywhere, you probably know a good point about what it's about. But basically, the gist of it is that Harry's parents died when he was a baby, trying to protect him from Voldemort, and Voldemort died trying to kill Harry, or died trying to kill Harry, and then 11, he ends up having to live with his aunt and uncle and a cousin, and then 11 years later, Hagrid comes, tells him he's a wizard, and drags him off to Hogwarts. And that's where it's a boarding school, so that'll be where he is during the school year, and they go back for summer. That's what it's called. Sorry, I still have winter in the brain. I'm not ready for summer again. I don't like summer. I love winter. I'm a winter baby. Where he meets Ron and Hermione, who belong together. Ron and Hermione belong together, not Hermione and Harry. Like, no, just you. Ron and Hermione are amazing together, and then he meets Jenny, who he doesn't realize is going to become the love of his life, because I also really love him and I ship it. And he meets Neville, who I really like, and eventually he meets Luna, who I also really like, and I ship Neville and Luna too. Yeah, so, and then he has to go on this journey, and each year he has like this battle, like in Sorcerer's Stone, he has to defeat Quirrell, who had like Voldemort in the back of his head. Then Chamber of Secrets. My mind's going big. Oh, he's had to fight Basilisk, that's what's called, and save Ginny. Then Prisoner of Azkaban, he had to save Sirius and to fight the Dementors, along with going back in time. Let's see, Goblet of Fire, he had to he had to fight Voldemort. He didn't defeat Voldemort yet, at least. In Order of Phoenix, him, Ron, Hermione, Ginny, Neville, and Luna all had to fight the Death Eaters. Then Half-Blood Prince, there was more fighting of the Death Eaters and Voldemort. Then same with Half-Blood Prince. And then Deathly Hallows, part 1, they go on a journey to defeat Voldemort, and then Deathly Hallows Part 2, they finally do. So yeah, I love the movies. My all-time favorite movies, one of my favorite books, because there's too many books that I love to, yeah. So yeah, that's Harry Potter. You probably already knew all of that, or at least most of it. Number 7 is Gremlins. I love these movies. First one I watched not too long ago. Second movie I haven't seen in a really long time. I found the first one on Netflix. I think it left Netflix now, but I had to watch it before it left. And so yeah, I need to buy both Gremlins. But they are so good, and I love them. So I remember the first one more, obviously, since I haven't watched the second one in a really long time. But basically, this boy gets this. Crap! What is it called? I forgot what it's called. Because it's not a gremlin, at least not at first. What I want to say it's like a Mogwai, something like that. I don't remember. But he receives that, and then he's like, there's like these rules, like you can't it can't get wet, can't feed after midnight, and I think sunlight is the third rule. No sunlight. But yeah, that doesn't work out. And then gremlins start appearing. The Gizmo gets all kind of scared over it, and it's so sad. But Gizmo's the sweetest. I love Gizmo. I love Gizmo so much. Yeah. So Gizmo. So these gremlins start wreaking havoc, and I mean it's considered a horror movie. Back in the day, it was made, so it's not scary for nowadays horror movies, but still amazing. Second one was kind of played off more to be a comedy. The first one was most played off more to be like a horror movie based back in the olden days. Such a good movie though. I don't remember a lot of the deaths, but I do remember that one where the old lady sat in one of those chairs that goes up the stairs, and then the gremlins kind of played with the wires or something, and then she just started flying up and out the window. I was like, for some reason that part just sticks to my brain, and I don't know why. But yeah. But so good. I highly recommend it if you have not seen it. It's definitely worth watching. You will fall in love with Gizmo, just like I have, because Gizmo is everything. Gizmo is amazing. I love Gizmo. I need a Gizmo. My mom used to own a Gizmo. I think she got rid of it, and I got really sad. I was like, why didn't you give it to me? I want a Gizmo. So now I need a Gizmo, because Gizmo's everything. Let's see. Number 6, Monsters Inc. I honestly don't know if Monsters Inc. is considered a Halloween movie, but it has to do with monsters. Obviously, it's called Monsters Inc. So it has the monster spooky vibe to it. So I'm like, you know what? It's a Halloween movie for me. Yes. But I probably don't really need to explain this movie that much either. I mean, most of you have probably seen it or at least heard of it, because it's such a good movie. Basically, it's about the monster world, and the monsters, to keep power and stuff, they have to scare little kids. They have this incorporation that a bunch of workers work there, obviously. And there's the scarers, which are like the big people on campus, and then they have each one of them have someone who kind of works for them, like an apprentice or assistant. That's the word I was looking for. And they like pretty much get everything done. Has to deal with all the paperwork and stuff. Basically, scarers, all they have to do is save their energy to actually scare. And Randall hates Sully and Mikey, and wants to be like the top scarer, but Sully always manages to outdo him, and he hates it. But then everything, and Waternoose praises Sully. He's his favorite scarer and stuff. He's the boss. But everything changes when a little girl, who ends up being named Boo by Sully, gets out of her door and is scared of the monsters. But they're told that like a child's touch can kill you or something like that. So Sully was terrified of her, and but he couldn't manage to get rid of her. So they have to kind of like, so him and Mikey kind of have to hide her, and from everyone, including Randall, especially Randall and Waternoose. And But then Sully actually ends up really caring about her and gets into a big fight about Mikey over it. And then Mikey ends up caring about her and ends up coming back to help them. And they even get banished at one point and find out Water Noose is working with Randall. But they manage to save Boo and show everyone the true Water Noose and this and that and defeats Randall. So yeah, it's an amazing movie. I do recommend it. Number 5 is Hotel Transylvania. Now, I honestly don't know if I like Monsters Inc. or Hotel Transylvania better. The reason why I have Hotel Transylvania up more is because I do get more of a spooky vibe, more of a Halloween feel from that movie, just by a little bit though. Maybe it's for the fact that they're in Transylvania. You know, there's a bunch of different creatures that there's vampires, werewolves, invisible people. There's Frankenstein, there's witches, there's mummies. I don't think I ever actually showed a ghost, unless that invisible guy is supposed to be a ghost and just took that form literally. But yeah, but basically it's about Dracula's daughter Mavis, who is turning how old is she turning? 2100, I think, something like that. And her dad's very strict because humans killed his wife and almost killed Mavis and himself. But so he's very overprotective and kind of tricks her into seeing like this village, these zombie people dressing up as humans to scare her, to make her not want to go anywhere near humans again, until they have this secret hotel that he runs, and the hotel is for monsters only, so they have a safe place to go, and no human is supposed to be able to get there. But Johnny manages, and at first he thought this was just a cool Halloween party. He didn't realize that they were all actual monsters until he started snooping around. But Dracula kept trying to get him out. It didn't work. He met Mavis. They instantly fell in love with each other, and so he had to make everyone think that Johnny was a monster as well. And then Johnny wanted to stay because he started to really like the monsters, you know. And not to mention that he really fell for Mavis, and she fell for him. When Mavis found out that her dad lied and that Johnny is a human, and then Johnny pretended that he hated monsters because he felt bad for Dracula because he wanted to protect his daughter. So yeah, that was all a lot. And the second movie was good too. Third movie, not so much. But Mavis does end up with Johnny, thankfully, because I love them together, and I think they're such an underrated couple. So yeah. Number 4 is Scooby-Doo. This probably should have been a little bit higher up the list, but I might be biased because I'm a big Scooby-Doo fan. My favorite Scooby-Doo are the live-action movies that have to do with Sarah Michelle Gellar and Freddie Prinze Jr. My second favorite would have to be the series. What was it called? Because there's just a few series. What was it called? Crap. Mystery Incorporated. I think that's what it was called, right? Yeah. It only lasted 2 seasons, but I liked it. Those are really the only Scooby-Doos I watch. But I know for a fact I don't even need to talk about explain what Scooby-Doo is about, because everyone knows. I mean, Scooby-Doo, come on, everyone knows what Scooby-Doo is. Yeah, my favorite character is Daphne. I love Daphne and Fred together. I don't think I talk about Scooby-Doo that much on this channel, sadly. So just want to throw that out there. Not a big fan of Velma. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion or not, but yeah. So yeah, I love Scooby-Doo. I think a lot of people do. Let's be real. So moving on. Number 3 is Twitches. Now, Twitches is, I honestly don't know how many people are big fans of Twitches. I like Twitches, and I own Twitches, and it's actually a really good movie. I like the first one better than the second one, but the second one is still a good movie. Basically, it's about this big war in Coventry, which is this other realm, and then so the queen has to give up her daughters, or the king does it, because he gives his life for them, and then all these years the queen thought her daughters were dead. They were separated though. They were both from two different families. Carmen got this really rich family where she gets everything she's ever wanted. Then and she has like two loving parents. Then Alex gets she has a mom that she loved very much. She never knew her dad, but she didn't have as much. But her mom ended up dying. I don't think long before the Twitches movie started. I don't remember how long she said. I think she said it was a few years. I don't know, or maybe it was less than that. I don't know, so she lives with her best friend and her best friend's mom and her best friend's sister, little sister. Because she's like part of the family. I was a little sad that she wasn't in the second movie since they were so close in the first movie. But they end up meeting and finding out they're witches, and then Carmen gets all excited at first and really Alex doesn't want any part of this, and then they meet their guardians, find Coventry, and then when things get a little too real, it's Carmen that freaks out, and Alex that wants to keep on going and finding her birth mother. And Carmen's like, I know that you're really upset about you not losing your mom, but I have parents that I love. And she's like, I'm not trying to replace my mom. And she's like, I know that. But then Carmen ends up coming back when the darkness comes after her, and then she realizes she has to find her sister and her mother and save them or help them, whatnot. And they find out that their father's brother, which makes him their uncle, is the darkness, and the one that killed their father, and is trying to kill them because he wants to be king of Coventry. And they have to defeat him. And I love the ending of that. I really do. Where they're trying to they're like, light is the opposite of dark, so think about light, but it wasn't working. And then all of a sudden, Carmen thinks about her mother and remembers her mother stopping the darkness, but she's not a witch or anything. She stopped the darkness with her love, because the opposite of dark isn't light, it's love, and that's when they figured it out. And then so they started thinking about everyone they love, and all of a sudden they were able to defeat the darkness. And the darkness does come back, obviously. That's why they made that's the second movie and all. But yeah, it's a really good movie and vastly underrated. Number 2, I'm gonna probably get a little hate for having this number 2 and not number 1, but hear me out. Okay, I don't have a reason. I just like the number 1 movie a little bit better. But anyways, number 2 movie is Hocus Pocus. It's a great movie. It is, and this one's almost tied with the number 1 movie, which I'll get to in a minute. But it's such a great movie. Obviously, everyone knows about it. Let's be real. But basically, Max the Virgin, who is a non-believer, Okay, I swear, non-believers are gonna get us killed. And no matter what movie or TV show or book you watch or read, it's the when it comes to fantasy, it's the non-believers that ends up rising the dead and getting us all killed. Okay? I mean, I know last time I did this rant, I don't remember who I was talking to, but I did this rant to someone, and I started naming off other people that like almost got people killed because they didn't believe, but I can't think of any of them now. But non-believers are gonna get us believers killed for not believing. Believe! I mean, how many weird things do you need to see in your lifetime to realize that this stuff is real? And even if you don't believe, don't test that belief. I mean, what if that? Do you not consider the fact that you might actually be wrong? That like, okay, moving on before I get into a 20-minute rant, because I will. Max, a non-believer, gonna move on from there because I'm not gonna get into another rant. I'm gonna try my hardest. Let's the Black Flame candle because it has to be a virgin. and he's a virgin, which they mention a few times in the movie, much to his dismay. But yeah, so he lights it, and then the Santa sisters just come back from the dead, and then they want to suck out the children to. They only have a Halloween night to do what they need to do. They're trying to get the children's youth to make them look younger and keep them to stay. And so Max, his crush Alice, and his little sister Danny have to find a way to stop him. I love when at the end when Max, and I love Billy. I should throw that out there. And then there's don't want to forget about Thackeray, because Thackeray's awesome. Binks. We all love Binks. But it's my train of thought. There's something. Oh yeah, the scene when Winifred could actually won this if she didn't have to go after Danny. Let's just be real. That's why villains always fail. It's not that the hero is too powerful for them. Let's be real. There's sometimes the villain is way more powerful than the hero, but the villain ends up doing something stupid, like Winifred insisting to go after Danny instead of having, I don't know, a million kids that were outside her house at that particular moment. This is why you villains always fail, because you're not smart, or because you let your anger get ahead of you. Like, okay. Anyways, but she ended up dropping the potion, and Max caught it, and he was gonna smash it, but she threatened to kill Danny. So he drank it, forcing her to have no choice but to take Max and kill him instead of Danny, which was really sweet. But yeah, it also shipped Max and Allison. And there's also a book, Hocus Pocus in the all-new sequel. The first half is just like the movie. The second half is 25 years later with Max and Allison's daughter Poppy, who, even though they told her the story several times in detail, she still didn't believe, and she ended up bringing them back. So yeah, like I said, you not believe it's gonna get the rest of us killed. Moving on to number one. Number one is Halloween Town. I love these movies. Fourth one, not so much. I mean, the thing is, the fourth movie had potential. It did. And honestly, you know, if Sophie should have been in it, she should have been in the third one a little bit more too. And Aggie definitely been in it, because Aggie made the movies. And I think Marnie's love interest in the third movie should have been Ethan instead of whatever his name is, because I really ship Marnie and Ethan. But that's one thing I did like about the fourth movie, that Ethan was her love interest. And then I also think Luke should have been in the third and fourth movie, because I loved him and he was like Marnie's best friend. Another thing I did love about the fourth movie is that it did show Marnie and Dylan's trust and love for each other, their sibling bond. Because, I mean, in the first three movies, even though it was obvious they did care about each other, it showed more of the teasing part of their sibling relationship instead of the actual heartfelt moments that, like, all sibling relations, or most sibling relations, really have. You know, they have the teasing part like they did the first three movies, but they also have the more heartfelt moments. That's why I loved how Marnie risked everything to save Dylan, how she ended up giving him the amulet to keep it safe, showing that he's the one she trusts above everyone else, above her mother, above her grandmother, above her sister, above Ethan, above all of her friends, that it's her brother she trusts more than anything. And I thought that was really sweet, and it was a good way to end the movie. But first of all, changing Marnie, not a smart move. If Marnie didn't want to come back, then simply don't make the movie. Even though there were points in it I'm glad they made, I still think you should have either waited for her to want to make the movie, or just not make the movie without Marnie. And also, another thing I didn't like about the fourth movie, or the third movie, was the fact that the mom started using magic more. The whole point of the first two movies was the fact that the mom hated magic and wanted to raise her children as normal people. So yeah, but anyways, the first movie is basically about Marnie finding out she's a witch and then having to save Halloween Town and her family, because yeah, with the help of Dylan and Sophie, obviously. But yeah, I had to go with that little Halloween Town rant, because yeah. But I love the Halloween Town movies. The first three I absolutely love. Even the third one does have a little bit of faults. but then the fourth one has a lot of faults, but it does have a few good points that I do like. I just think the movie itself as a whole could have been better if they changed a few things. Like the mom still not liking to use magic, or the fact that Marnie is not Marnie, or Sophie and Aggie should have been in it. So yeah. Anyways, please like and subscribe and comment your favorite Halloween themed movies. And if you agree with my list or not, and we will chat below. And I'll talk to you guys later.